Well, hello there, and welcome back to America's Funniest Handyman, where today I'm in a third floor bathroom and I'm going to teach you how to take an old light and replace it with a brand new ventilating bathroom fan. That way you can remove moisture and stinky smells from your bathroom. The house that I'm working on today is over 100 years old and presents several challenges, including this old ugly knob and tube wiring that is just a nest sticking out of the ceiling and not in a junction box. Second of all, we have a lath and plaster ceiling to cut into in order to install our new fan housing. And last but not least, we are on the third floor, which means I'm going to have to climb up onto a pretty high roof to install the new roof vent and make sure that all of the moisture and stinky air exits the building. Okay, let's get to work. Okay, I've got my headlamp on so I can see what I'm doing. The circuit breaker is off, and I double check these wires with a tester to make sure that the power is definitely off before I start hacking into the hot and the neutral. Now that I've got the light cut off, we're going to proceed to the next step. Okay, it's a bit difficult to see my pencil marks, but I have drawn a 7.5 inch by 7.5 inch square that's right next to where the joist is, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that hole, which will accommodate our new fan housing, which will get installed several steps down the line. But here's a picture of it, just so you can see what it's going to look like after the housing is installed. I'm using a small battery-operated Sawzall in order to make these cuts, and I'm being extremely careful not to nick the electrical wires while I'm doing so. If you appreciate the instruction that you're receiving in this video, I would appreciate it very much if you would consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell. That way, you'll be notified every time I come out with a new video. All of my DIY videos are both instructional and a little bit humorous, because here at America's Funniest Handyman, we believe that your home improvement experience can be both rewarding and enjoyable. Okay, this is what I look like when I'm doing work in a room that has no light and no power. I always wear a headlamp so that my hands are free to do things safely and patiently. As you can see, I've got this hole up here that I cut just before. Now I've got a pigtail sticking out of there. I'm going to hop up on this ladder and show you what we're doing next. So, as you can see, I now have a junction box where all of that electric is. I got a pigtail sticking out. My fan housing is going to go right inside this hole. And if you could see that little bit of daylight right there, that's where I drilled a hole. That's about a 3/8 inch hole I drilled, and it goes up to the 3rd story roof. And that is where I'm going to put my 4-inch vent. And that's the next order of business. I'm going to roof and show you guys how I'm going to vent this fan out of that little hole right there. Okay, see you in a minute. All right, I'm ready to go up on the very tip top of that roof and walk over to where I drilled that hole. So let me show you what I'm bringing up there with me. Got a bag, and in the bag I'm putting a drill with a 4-inch hole saw so that I can drill through the roof tiles. A caulk gun and a tube of silicone. And a 4-inch roof vent, which is what I'm going to attach my ventilation hose to. And you know what? I'm going to take this bag of goodies up to the tip top of that roof, walk along the peak over to the flat spot where I drilled that hole that I showed you, and I'm going to install that vent. Now let me tell you guys, please do not do this at your own house. You know, and the more that I think about it, I'm feeling a little unsafe, and it's really cold out, and I feel like maybe I should just go grab a coffee and a bagel and let one of my friends take care of this. So yeah, I'm gonna go get Ivan, and we'll have Ivan take care of this. Yeah, you know, the tough guy, America's Funniest Handyman, Mr. Tommy Highland.
not surprising that he's, how you say in America, he's chickening out and not going to do this because it's cold outside and he don't want to get his hands dirty and walk on the roof because he thinks it is unsafe. So America's Funniest Handyman does what any typical American redneck will do. He calls somebody he believes to be an illegal immigrant to do the dirty work, and that's why I am here. I am from the Siberian area of Russia. I will climb the roof and I will be the hero of the day, and he will pay me peanuts, and if I get hurt, he will not tell anybody and he will just ship me home. So please, wish me luck as I walk into danger.
Maybe you can't tell a joke, but when your stuff gets broke, what do? You give Tommy a call, whether it's large or small. There's no project he can't see through. Let's laugh and learn from this handyman, with Kitty hold this by his side, fixing stuff in a serious way with a not so serious guy.
Okay, as you can see, I am up here at a great height on this relatively flat roof. I am not chicken and I am feeling very safe up here. I don't recommend you do this at home, unless of course you have relatives to pick you up off the ground after you fall. It is the vent that I am going to put into the roof. Whenever you are working on a roof and doing stuff like this, you need to think like a raindrop. If I was a raindrop, which direction would I go? How would I try to get underneath things and into the house? I like raindrops, but I do not like them in my house. So that's what we're going to do. First, we are going to drill the hole. I've already cut out a space for where the roof will overlap this stuff right here. You'll see in just a second. I'm not going to try and over-explain everything.
Swing the hammer, turn the screw, cut the saw and stick the glue, shave the shim, clamp the vise, cut once, measure twice. Drill the hole and fill the hole, put the thingy in the hole. Be sure you're having fun, measure twice, cut once.
Now that I know it's going to fit, I'm going to use the silicone. Yes, it's very cold out here, but it will not dip below the freezing mark for several days, so the silicone will have time to cure. That is it. That is how you put in a roof vent. Now we'll climb back down and maybe America's Funniest Handyman will let me take a break or something, you know? Maybe have a sandwich. Even us immigrants, we need to eat, you know? I'll see you downstairs. As always, you must leave the dirty work and the unsafe work to the studly, wonderful immigrants. The stupid American infidels are too chicken and lazy to do such things.
Okay, here we are back down inside the bathroom, and as you can see, the fan housing is already installed and screwed up into the ceiling with some extra supports up above the lath and plaster. Unfortunately, I lost the footage that shows me connecting a 4-inch flex hose from the roof vent to the new fan housing. I also connected the electric according to the manufacturer's specifications, and now we're gonna put up the trim pieces and plug in the light, and we'll be all finished and ready to ventilate. This ventilation fan has a 2-piece trim kit. The first piece gets screwed up into the housing, and the second piece we're gonna plug into the light, and then we're gonna just snap it into place, and we are all finished. Thank you for joining me today. I hope your installations go smoothly and safely.